Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to understand one of the most important topics in English grammar, tenses. Introduction. Today we are starting with a very important concept in English grammar, the verb. Let's understand this simple sentence. The verb in a sentence expresses an action or event or a state. What does this mean? A verb is a word that tells us what is happening in a sentence. It can show an action, for example. She runs, they play, I write. Here, runs, play, and write are actions. They tell us what someone is doing. An event, for example, it rained yesterday. The match started at 6 p.m. These are events, things that happened. A state. Sometimes, a verb does not show action. It shows a condition or state. For example, she is happy. I know the answer. They belong here. Here, the verbs show a condition, feeling, or situation, not a physical action. So remember this, a verb can show action, event, state. Without a verb, a sentence is incomplete. The verb is the heart of the sentence. Now let's understand something very important about verbs. A verb does not only show action. It also tells us when the action happens. Listen carefully to this idea. It tells whether an action took place in the past, is taking place now, or will take place in the future. What does this mean? It means a verb shows time. Let me give you simple examples. Past, the action already happened. I played yesterday. Present, the action is happening now. I am playing now. Future, the action will happen later. I will play tomorrow. Mainly there are three tenses: present tense, past tense, and future tense. Now let's look at this table carefully. In English, there are mainly three tenses. First, present tense. Second, past tense. Third, future tense. But each tense is divided into four forms. Let's start with the present tense. Under present we have simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Now let's move to the past tense. Under past we have simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous. And finally, the future tense. Under future, we have simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. So if we count all of them together, 3 tenses times 4 forms each equals 12 tense forms in total. This table shows the complete structure of English tenses. Now, we will learn each one step by step with examples. Present tense. Present tense consists of 4 subdivisions, which are simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. Now let's understand the structure of the simple present tense. The formula is subject plus V1 plus S or ES. This means we use the base form of the verb, that is V1. But there is one important rule. When the subject is he, she, it, or any singular name, we add S or ES to the verb. Here we add ES to the verb study, and it becomes studies. So remember this simple rule. For I, we, you, they, right pointing arrow, use V1. For he, she, it, singular name, right pointing arrow, use V1 plus S or ES. This is the basic structure of the simple present tense. Uses. Now let's understand the first use of the simple present tense. We use it to express a daily or a habitual action. Habitual action means something we do regularly, every day, every week, or usually. Let's look at some examples. She drinks milk daily. This shows her daily habit. He gets up at 5 every day. Getting up at 5 is his regular routine. College begins at 10 o'clock. This happens regularly according to a fixed schedule. He goes to the temple daily. Again, this is a repeated action. They do exercise every morning. Exercise is their daily habit. So remember this. When an action happens regularly or is part of a routine, we use the simple present tense. Words like daily, every day, every morning, usually, always, often come with this tense. This is the first and most common use of the simple present tense. Now let's move to the second use of the simple present tense. We use the simple present tense to express a universal truth or a general fact. A universal truth is something that is always true. It does not change with time. Let's look at the examples. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This is a scientific fact. It is always true. The sun rises in the east. This happens every day without change. Cows give us milk. This is a general fact about cows. The earth moves round the sun. This is a permanent scientific truth. Man is mortal. This means all humans are subject to death. It is a general truth. So remember, when something is always true, a scientific fact, a natural law, or a general truth, we use the simple present tense. It expresses facts that do not change. Now let's move to the third use of the simple present tense. We use the simple present tense to express a planned future action. Yes, even though it is called present, we sometimes use it to talk about future events that are already scheduled or fixed. These are usually timetables, official programs, or fixed arrangements. Let's look at the examples. The match starts at 5 p.m. This is a fixed schedule. The President of the U.S. visits India next month. This visit is officially planned. The train leaves at 5:20 a.m. Train timings are fixed. We leave for Hyderabad at 8:30 next Sunday. This is a planned arrangement. The Prime Minister arrives in Vijayawada at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. This is a scheduled official visit. So remember, when a future action is already planned, scheduled, or fixed, we often use the simple present tense. This is very common in timetables, news reports, and official announcements. Now let's move to another important use of the simple present tense. Some verbs are usually expressed in the simple present form. These verbs do not normally show physical action. They show feelings, senses, thoughts, or states of mind. Examples of such verbs are see, smell, love, like, seem, want, need, believe, taste, wish, and so on. Let's look at the examples. This mango tastes sweet. Here, tastes describes a sense, not an action. She wants to get her watch repaired. Wants shows a desire. I wish you all the best. Wish expresses a feeling. They believe in God. Believe shows a thought or opinion. So remember, when we talk about feelings, senses, thoughts, or mental states, we usually use the simple present tense. Now let's look at another important point. We often use the simple present tense with adverbs like usually, generally, daily, every, occasionally, and similar words. These adverbs show frequency, how often something happens. Let's look at the examples. I play tennis daily. The word daily tells us that this action happens every day. Usually she doesn't tell a lie. The word usually shows that this is her regular habit. The Olympic Games take place every 4 years. The phrase every 4 years tells us how often this event happens. So remember, when we talk about repeated actions or regular habits, and when we use frequency words like daily, usually, every, we use the simple present tense. These adverbs are strong signals of the simple present. Now, let's understand an important rule. In the simple present tense, when the subject is in the third person singular, such as he, she, it, or any other singular noun, we must add s or s to the verb. This is a very important grammar rule. Let's look at the examples. He drinks tea every morning. Here, the subject is he, so we add s to the verb drink. It becomes drinks. Emma does her homework daily. Here, Emma is a singular noun, so the verb do changes to does. So remember, whenever the subject is he, she, it, or any singular name, the verb takes s or s in the simple present tense. That's all for today's lesson. I hope this explanation helped you understand the topic clearly and easily. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends.